We're on the first dragon and people are wondering, should they level up these uncommon heroes so that they can progress here, so that we get that Mark D buff up on the dragon and it's easy to beat because we flip all those positive buffs that it has to the negative version of those, and we even can get up the ability to block buffs on it. The problem is that this dragon was buffed or changed compared to beta. And when they made this change for him, they did not change any of these heroes. And we tested these on stream today for 2 hours. We went to a lower level dragon, stage 6, with 2 healers, and we were trying to apply the Mark D buff. What they've done is they've changed this dragon to require 3 Mark D buffs. But they didn't go back and look at the consistency and the length that these uncommons are trying to apply this Mark D buff. It used to be in beta, we only had to apply this one time, and that was it. Anytime we apply Mark now, it just removes 1 buff. We have to get up 3 individual Mark D buffs for it to do the ability switch and for it to block any further buffs for 3 turns. I think this is a typo. It's 1, 3, 3, and it's separate lines. I believe this should be 1 to remove a buff, 2 to do the ability switch, 2 separate marks up, and then 3 separate marks up to block, which is very strong for 3 turns. It can't get any buffs. I think there's a disconnect here, and there's a big disconnect from when they changed this from beta to now, and it's going to affect people at global launch. This is why I want Netmarble to see this, and I hope they can make adjustments for global launch because people want to fight this dragon the way it's supposed to be done. I want to fight it that way. I want to level up these uncommons just like we've done with Dejaret to fight Gorgos, and he's beautiful there. You can see how well he functions. He's meant for that. All these guys are meant for this dragon. This is the dragon's whole gimmick, is to get up these Mark D buffs and to stop him from getting all those buffs. If you're unable to stop him from getting all those buffs, he gets 80% evasion, 80% defense, 60% less damage taken. It gets so wild. The good thing is right now you can fight this dragon on stage 8 with just a normal team. This is it. I'm not even using the Mark gimmick. I'm not using the Mark D buff. I have Bond in his frost weapon. Nobody's even maxed out. Level 8 will get us 4 to 5 star gear. We don't get 5 to 6 star gear until we go into 9 and 10. That's the big hurdle. Right now, if I go from 8 to 9, it's very different, much, much harder. And we need to apply Mark then to actually beat it. With these guys, they're not even leveled up. Not all the way. We've got a lot of work we can still do with their relics, with their awakening their relics, with awakening up here. The only one we have fully awakened from leveling is Bond there at the end. And he's not even overpowered now. He's been nerfed and we're using the relic that he comes to us as. But it was a very easy run. So we can get 4 and 5 star gear. That's fantastic. I love that. And we don't even have to play toward Mark. But now I want to get 5 and 6 star gear. I want to level these people up all the way. I want to do all the work and time that's necessary to be able to max out what I need to max out, which would be a guy like this or this guy. And I don't mind maxing them out because I know that if I do and I use their ability, it's going to let me progress. But this will not let us progress. If I take these guys all the way up to full awaken, like we have Bond on the far right, if I take their relics all the way up to 60, fully awaken those relics, and then put 4 to 5 star gear on them, they will not apply Mark consistent enough and long enough for it to matter at all. And that's a really big problem. Even the other ones that apply it here that we looked over still will not do it. They've changed this dragon to require so many individual marks, and we need them up for quite a long time because these for one turn does not work. How can we get up 3 individual 1 turn consistent enough that we can take on this dragon when he takes on multiple different forms? We have to retarget the body. He's got wings, legs, he's got a tail on other phases of the fight. It's so difficult to do. Now I've seen some stage 10 clears with Beborn, but you got to remember these are whales with very strong accounts. They've got 6 star gear, 5 and 6 star gear, really great legendaries. They're bringing in Beborn instead of Sigrid on some of these teams, and I still think that they probably fail pretty often because it's very inconsistent. Even when I played Beborn today on stream and we kept trying to apply 2 marks, it took forever, and you don't have that much time to waste. This dragon hits hard. He gets all these buffs. He starts hitting even harder, like massively harder, massively faster, and it's just not tuned well to the frequency that we can apply Mark. What they really need to do is look at all of these uncommons and increase the percentage to apply Mark and the duration to have mark up. Now, Beborn can get lucky and apply these marks on random targets. I've got them leveled up to 2 extra targets and have it up for 3 turns. So if you're lucky enough with Beborn and it doesn't go to the body parts, it actually goes to the main body, then yeah, you can make it through. But I don't think people at level 10 with Beborn are having consistent runs. I think they're just very strong and they're getting lucky every once in a while with him, and it's making it so they can push through. Now, if I brought in my other uncommon that we leveled up, this guy, along with the other ones that we have options for, pretty trash. 60% chance when he attacks with a 1-turn cooldown just to apply it. And if he does apply it, it's for 1 turn and it falls immediately off. The dragon's already like fast because it's getting these buffs to make it faster. Now we've got a 1-turn mark, 60% chance to do that, falls off. If I look at his abilities over here, 30%, and I'm going to work to get it up to 50%. Even at a 50% chance for 2 turns, how consistent will that be? Because when you go in there and you fight that dragon, you need to get these marks up. And you need to have at least a little bit more reliable than some guy coming in with a 50% chance for 2 turns. Especially since we've got to get up 3. 1 just removes. 2 does nothing. We have to have 3 separate, if I hold up 3 fingers, 3 separate marks up at one time for us to flip all those to negatives. And we've got to do that for stage 9 and stage 10. We cannot beat him when he has all those buffs. It just won't happen. Even if you do damage him through that 80% dodge, he's still got 80% defense and then taking like, I can't remember what it was, 60% less damage. It's insane. I got this trap up for another turn here to actually have the trap on, but when it applied it, it looked like it was for 1 turn. And why is this skill 3 for 3 vigor a 70% chance to apply this? Why wouldn't this be a 100% chance to apply this? And I didn't really even see it activating that often. So I feel like there's a disconnect between what they've changed this guy to what we have option for to be able to level up. I love the way this game works to where we can level up and fully focus on some of these uncommons to get through the dungeons like we do with Degenerate. It makes sense. And then later we can make speed run, fast teams, strong teams with legendaries once we put all the work into the legendaries and have the gear. And it's awesome that all of us, free to play or spenders, have the ability to use these uncommons to push through this content. But I just don't think these uncommons are consistent enough and apply it long enough. So I hope you guys can either educate me or Netmarble can take a look into this and see what changes they've made over here with making this 3 turns. Maybe again, change this to 2. Because if 2 are up and it does the ability switch, that would at least be a hell of a lot better. And then they could maybe go over there at all those uncommons and raise up the percentage chance to apply it. And then maybe even the turns to apply it. But 3 is just far too much. They can't change this to 3 and then not do anything to any of the heroes and expect everyone to have Sigrid and use Sigrid to progress through here or be extremely strong when this is the first dungeon we face. I think it should be better than that. So you guys let me know your thoughts on this down below. Thanks for watching. Sorry about all this rant, but I really want to get this stuff kind of worked out before global launch. I want us all to have a great time. I want to max out these uncommons. I want to put everything I have into them, but I can tell you that if I do that, it just won't work. So I'm not going to, not now. I'll just get stronger and just bulldoze my way through it if I have to, or use other options, sneaky stuff we can do, like Sarah's skill 1 that can block buffs being put up. We can use Anguish's skill 2 to steal all the buffs. We're just going to have to come up with other ways if these aren't going to be good. And I don't like doing RNG runs. I don't want to run through here with Beborn and just hope and pray that eventually he hits the boss and I got to run it like 5 times just to get 1 clear. That's not good. That's terrible. Thanks for watching again. Appreciate your time. I will see you guys all in a video soon.